Once, in a quiet mountain village, there lived a young boy named Leo. Leo was full of energy, always chasing after the wild dreams that filled his head. He wanted to be the fastest runner, the best climber, and the bravest adventurer. His grandfather, an old man with silver hair and wise eyes, often watched Leo from their small house on the hill. One crisp autumn afternoon, Leo's grandfather called him over. "Tomorrow we will go on a journey, Leo," the old man said with a smile. Leo's eyes lit up with excitement. "Where are we going, Grandpa?" Leo asked, his heart racing. "To the top of the great mountain," his grandfather replied. "But remember, it's not about how fast we get there. It's about how we make the journey." Leo nodded, though he was mostly thinking about how quickly he could reach the summit and show everyone he was the best climber. The next morning, they set off. The path was steep and rocky, but Leo was determined to climb quickly. He sprinted ahead, jumping over rocks and skipping along the narrow trail, leaving his grandfather far behind. Soon, he reached a dense forest halfway up the mountain. The trees were so tall they blocked out the sunlight. Leo stopped, breathing heavily, waiting for his grandfather to catch up. As the old man arrived, he smiled and asked, "Why the rush, Leo?" "I want to reach the top first, Grandpa. I'll prove I'm the fastest," Leo said confidently. His grandfather chuckled. "It's not always about being the fastest. Come, walk with me a while." Reluctantly, Leo slowed down and walked beside his grandfather. The path became trickier, with thorny bushes and sharp rocks. The mountain seemed endless. As they walked in silence, the air grew colder and the fog rolled in, making it hard to see the trail. Leo felt uneasy, but didn't want to show it. After a while, they came upon an old, rickety bridge hanging over a deep canyon. The wooden planks creaked under their feet as they carefully crossed. Halfway across, Leo looked down and saw the rushing river far below. His legs trembled and his heartbeat quickened. "Grandpa, are you sure this is safe?" Leo asked, his voice shaking slightly. His grandfather smiled warmly. "Trust the path, Leo. Sometimes the scariest parts of the journey teach us the most." Leo nodded, taking a deep breath, and they continued. Once across the bridge, they paused to rest. Leo's earlier excitement had faded, replaced by a quiet determination. He no longer felt the need to rush. As they climbed higher, the fog cleared and they reached a clearing with a breathtaking view. Below them, the entire valley stretched out, bathed in the golden glow of the setting sun. Leo sat down beside his grandfather, mesmerized by the beauty around him. "I didn't realize how amazing this was," Leo whispered. His grandfather smiled. "If you had raced to the top, you would have missed it. Sometimes the best moments aren't at the end of the journey, but along the way." Leo looked at his grandfather, understanding now. The journey wasn't about proving he was the fastest or the best. It was about experiencing the challenges, the beauty, and the lessons along the way. They continued to the summit, but Leo's heart was no longer set on reaching the top quickly. He savored each step, noticing the sound of the wind in the trees, the crunch of leaves beneath his feet, and the warmth of his grandfather's steady presence beside him. When they finally reached the peak, the sky was ablaze with colors. Leo stood at the top, feeling a sense of peace he had never felt before. His grandfather looked at him and said, "Life is not a race, Leo. It's a journey, and sometimes the most important things aren't waiting for you at the end, but are scattered along the way." Leo smiled, knowing that this journey would stay with him forever, not because of the summit, but because of everything he had learned on the way up. We often rush towards our goals, thinking the destination is everything, but like Leo learned, it's the moments, the experiences, and the lessons along the way that truly shape us. So next time you are on your own journey, whether it's reaching for a dream or overcoming an obstacle, remember to slow down, trust the path, and take in everything life has to offer. Because in the end, it's not always about getting there first, it's about how you make the journey.